We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello everyone, my name is Professor Mehul Patel from Civil Engineering Department of Vidyadeep Institute of Engineering and Technology. In surveying subject, today we are going to learn about remote sensing. As we all know, remote sensing is in our day-to-day life. There are many kinds of applications of it. Remote sensing is used in numerous fields including geography, land surveying and most earth science disciplines, for example hydrology, ecology, meteorology, oceanography, glaciology, geology, etc. Apart from that, it also has some basic military and simplified civilian services such as intelligence, commercials, economic planning, humanitarian applications, etc. So it is very important to understand what remote sensing is and how it works. So let's get started. These are the topics we are going to cover up. From the definitions, what remote sensing is? Remote sensing is acquisition of information about any object or say phenomenon without making any physical contact. You are not going to touch anything, you are not going to in physical contact with any phenomenon of object. Contact with object and thus in contrast on site observation, especially the earth. You are just making observations. How does it change with time? How does it change with space? How it is reflecting the light you are propagating on it. So that is remote sensing. Remote sensing is all about observations, getting data, making them transfer to the ground based stations and interpretation of that data. Remote sensing system capture radiation. Now what is radiation? Now human eye can see only this spectrum range of visible, which is light. Now we cannot see ultraviolet or infrared, but remote sensing satellites are using both wavelengths. They will get different kinds of data such as for temperature you will need ultraviolet as well as infrared data. For suppose in-depth knowledge of ocean, you will get, suppose we need to study the Mariana Trench, so we will need some different wavelength that will travel more in deeper oceans. So light will not traveling at the deeper oceans, so we will need different kind of wavelengths which are in zone of ultraviolet or infrared. So remote sensing is using that kind of radiation. So remote sensing provided valuable data over the vast area in a short time about resources, meteorology and environmental, leading to better resource management and also accelerating the national development. How? You are scanning the surface of earth or any region, you are getting data, you are again scanning, you are getting data again scanning, and you are developing a data stack up. You are now deciding how it is changing with season, how it is changing by day, how it is changing according to years and decades, so you can predict how it is going to be in future. So remote sensing is very useful in surveying applications, in other applications also such as military and commercial use as well. The data, the weather you are getting is just by the remote sensing. Nowadays we have established many satellites over the space just for the remote sensing. Here are some advantages of remote sensing. We have already discussed about them, so let's talk about it. It will provide a regional view for large area, provides repetitive looks. That means you are repeating when satellite rotate around the earth, it will scan the repetitively the same land, so you will get the change with time. Next, the remote sensors see over the broader portions of the spectrum than the human eye. So again, you can only see the light wavelength, you cannot see the infrared and ultraviolet, but satellites can produce, propagate and receive all of them. Sensors can focus in on a very specific bandwidth in an image or a number of bandwidths simultaneously. So receiving of data, propagations of the wavelengths, and also interpretations and transferring that data is simultaneous action of remote sensing. So you will not get much time to get data, to transfer data, and to develop the algorithm of that data and deriving the conclusions or result according to that. It will provide georeferenced digital data. Why georeferenced? Georeference is very useful in GPS, is very useful in developing maps, because we have to scale the maps. The photograph you are taking from 1 meter and 10 meter, it will be different because we have to have georeference for that particular photograph. Some remote sensors operate in all seasons, at night and in bad weather and in raining seasons, anything involved in remote sensing. The first is energy source or illumination. You can see that is A, which is sun. You're using the sun's light for the study. Next, radiation and the atmosphere. Now the radiations from the sun enters the earth atmosphere, it will be different from the space. Light in space and light in any planet's atmosphere will be different. Again, next, interaction with object or earth surface, you can say. How the propagations of natural light or artificial light, you are showing that B is two times from the satellite and from the sun. Now that interactions with object or earth surface will be different. So that is interactions. We are going to study how it is interacting and how much energy we are propagating and how much we are receiving. Next is recording of energy by the sensors. When energy is propagated by object, reflected by object, is received by the satellite, we have to record that for data interpretations. Next is transmission, reception and processing. Now we have data in satellite, so we have to transmit the data from any earth location based stations. Those earth locations will get the data, they will understand it, they will interpret it and tell us what does it mean. So that is interpretations, reception and processing. Now 6 is interpretation and analysis. Okay, the data we are getting will not be basically understood. Now from the data we will develop a behavioral status of any object or earth surface in understanding manner. Suppose we are developing the map, the data getting by the remote sensing satellite will not be that understandable for the normal public. So the data they will send to the ground earth based stations, they will develop an understandable manner, they will develop that data. Suppose we are getting the contours, so it will be very useful in developing 3D maps. Now so for contour, not everyone can understand the contours, so the data we are getting have to be transferred or be developed in understandable manner. And last is applications. Just like the Google Maps we are using, which is application, just like the weather, that is applications. Now what is active and passive remote sensing? For some satellites used daylight or sunlight for the remote sensing, so that will be passive because they are using passive source of light. If satellites carries or plane, now remote sensing is not just about the satellites, it is all about satellites and plane as well. You can say drones as well. So if satellite, planes or drones having their own source of light, that will be active remote sensing. So why satellites are used to study the earth? Because they are consistent, routine and global measurement are available for the satellites, because we don't have to watch over their movement. They will eventually scan the earth, we will get the data, we will transfer the data, and all operations will be very easy. Next is overview of informations onto hemispheric region, national and local scales, the big picture. That means from the satellites you are getting the broader picture than those of planes and drones. Provide informations in areas where there are no ground based measurement. So there are many inaccessible places on the earth right now. So how do we get the information about that? We are doing the remote sensing. Next, advanced warning of impending environmental events and disaster. Remote sensing's biggest application is disaster management in nowadays. How we are forecasting the weather, how we are forecasting the behavioral changes of glaciers, behavioral changes of icebergs, etc. Visual appeal, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Now you will not be able to see the entire earth from a specific distance. Now you are going to know how does it look from the upper places, how does it look like when the weather is very rainy, how does it look like there is a cyclone. So the movement of this typical cyclone, how, in which direction that is moving, so you will get a picture of that, and picture worth 1,000 words. It will provide a global view. Now this is the picture layers of the same topographic land. Here there are shown 4 pictures, one of which green and the light yellow color is different. Now below that there is a cloud layer, below that there is a weather layer, and next is maybe the glacier or ocean layer. So for the same picture you are getting numerous data. You can develop many kinds of maps. In Google Maps you will be able to show the street view, you will be able to show the satellite view, you will be able to traffic view, you will be able to terrain view and topography view. So for the same data you are getting different layers. So picture is very important in remote sensing. Satellite images has its own advantages we have studied. Now it has own disadvantages here shown on the screen. So for advantages, it will cover the large area, it is cost effective, time efficient, multi-temporal, multi-sensor, multispectral, overcome inaccessibility, you can access anything on earth, faster extraction of GIS ready data. Okay, now what are the disadvantages? Need ground verification, you must need a ground verification, you must need a ground interpretations, doesn't offer details. Now how it is not offer much detail? Because for the single wavelength you will get a specific kind of detail. Now for the same wavelength for another time you will get a different data. So details will be very in fluctuating manners. You have to develop a specific program or specific values of it. So next is not the base tool for small area, which is not for the small areas. Need expert system to extract the data. So for public uses, for commercial uses, we have to interpret the data for advisable uses. Applications of remote sensing for urbanization and transportation planning, for agriculture, for natural resource management, you can see, for national security, as we can see, science and geology, for study of rocks, study of earth strata, meteorological applications just like the weather we are getting right now, Medical applications are also there. Remote sensing, exploration of terrestrial bodies, astronomy, cosmology, astrophysics applications. So these are the basic process of remote sensing. The first is data acquisition, second processing that data, third is analyzing the data. Different data you will get, you have to analyze the data and record a particular value. Accuracy assessment, how accurate that data is. So you cannot just receive the data, analyze it and open to the public. You have to check whether it is accurate or not. Next is information distribution to users. How do satellite makes measurement? So satellite do not make direct measurement of Earth's geophysical parameters. Instead, satellite measure solar and terrestrial radiance. They need light. They need light source in a vertical column of the atmosphere. Radiance data are converted into geophysical parameters using science-based algorithms. Use two kinds of satellites which are shown here. Stationary satellites in high altitude orbit around 35,800 kilometers. It is the orbital period of satellite matches the rotation of speed. So when you want to study the specific area for the entire its life, for entire its process, so you will need geostationary satellites. For suppose for a country, it is developing its own satellite system, they will use geostationary and polar orbiting. So from north to south they will orbit the earth and scan the earth in peeling action. Peeling action means just like the peel, you are peeling from north to south. Thank you for your kind attention.